The grand chamber of the Galactic Council fell silent as Ambassador Mia Chen stepped forward, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. 500 alien dignitaries from across known space watched her with compound eyes, sensor arrays, and appendages that defied human classification. She carried a single data chip in her hand, humanity's resignation letter. The Terran Republic formally withdraws from the Galactic Council. Effective immediately, Mia announced, her voice steady despite the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. The chamber erupted. Councillor Vexter, a towering Crithian with obsidian skin, slammed his fists against his podium. You cannot simply leave. The treaties that bound us to fight your wars. Mia interrupted, her dark eyes flashing. The same treaties that prohibited us from settling in 70% of the galaxy. The ones that taxed our trade routes at triple the rate of any other species. She inserted the data chip into the central console. We've honored every agreement for 2 centuries. Now we're done. Kevin Rodriguez watched the broadcast from the bridge of the TRSS Indomitable, humanity's flagship stationed at the edge of Council space. As Fleet Admiral, he'd waited years for this moment. Around him, his crew worked in tense silence, monitoring the feeds from 1,000 human vessels spread across 50 star systems. Sir, we're detecting movement in the Crithian fleet, his tactical officer reported. Kevin's jaw tightened. Expected. All ships, condition yellow. Do not fire unless fired upon. Back on the Council homeworld, Supreme Arbiter Qualix raised one of her many tentacles for silence. The ancient luminary had overseen the Council for 3 centuries, and her telepathic presence carried the weight of absolute authority. Ambassador Chen, your species is young, reckless. You prospered under our guidance. Mia smiled coldly. We prospered despite your limitations. When the Zorgoth invaded the Outer Rim, who held the line? Human Marines. When the quantum plague struck Andromeda Station, who found the cure? Human scientists. When your precious trade routes needed protection, whose ships patrolled them? She paused, letting the silence answer. We were never partners. We were your workforce, your soldiers, your problem solvers. And in return, we got condescension and restrictions. The data chip finished uploading, projecting holographic documents across the chamber. Page after page of evidence council ships using human-developed technology without compensation. Diplomatic incidents where human lives were deemed acceptable losses. Records of council members voting to deny humanity access to key resources while their own species hoarded them. This is propaganda. Vexter roared. This is truth, Mia countered. And humanity is tired of being told we're too dangerous to be trusted while you exploit our innovations and sacrifice our people. On the Indomitable, alarms suddenly blazed. Admiral, Crithian battle group moving to intercept our position. Kevin's eyes never left the tactical display. All ships, defensive formation Omega-7, shields to maximum, weapons hot but hold fire. The Crithian fleet 30 massive dreadnoughts began positioning themselves to blockade human ships from leaving Council space. It was a power play, a show of force meant to remind humanity of its place. But Kevin had planned for this. Execute Protocol Exodus, he commanded. Across 50 star systems, human vessels activated their newly upgraded quantum drives technology developed in secret over the past decade. The drives hummed to life, bending space-time in ways the Council had deemed theoretically impossible. One by one, human ships began to vanish, jumping to coordinates beyond Council space. The Crithian commander, General Breakthis, watched in disbelief as his blockade became meaningless. They have quantum displacement drives. That's impossible. The equations don't. His science officer, a Crithian physicist, stared at her console in awe. Sir, the equations do work. We just never considered this application. It's brilliant. Terrifying, but brilliant. On the Council homeworld, Mia watched the tactical feeds on her personal device. She saw Kevin's ship phase out of normal space, saw the Crithian fleet scrambling uselessly. She allowed herself a small smile. You wanted to keep us contained, she told the Council, her voice carrying across the chamber. You feared what we might become if we had true freedom. Well, now you'll find out, Qualix's telepathic voice resonated with barely concealed panic. You are making a mistake that will cost you everything. Without council protection, we've been protecting ourselves for years. Mia interrupted. The Zorgoth fear human marines. The collective respects human engineers. Even the void wraiths have learned to avoid human space. She began walking toward the exit. We don't need you. We never did. If you leave, we will consider any human vessels in council space as hostile. Vexter threatened. Mia turned, her expression ice cold. Good. That makes things simple. Any council vessel in human-claimed space will be treated the same way. She paused at the doorway. Oh, and one more thing, that quantum displacement technology. We're sharing it freely with every independent species you suppressed. The Nithrans, the Collected Havens, the Rim Confederacy. All those minor species you've exploited for centuries. The implications hit the chamber like a shockwave. Without their monopoly on faster-than-light travel, the Council's power would crumble. Species they'd subjugated would have the means to escape, to build their own empires. Qualix's telepathic presence surged with rage and fear. You would destabilize the entire galactic order. No, Mia replied softly. We're just removing your thumb from the scale. What happens next is up to everyone else. She walked out of the chamber, leaving 500 alien dignitaries in chaos. Arguments erupted across species lines. Some called for war. Others, particularly representatives from suppressed species, quietly activated their communicators, already reaching out to human contacts. Kevin watched from the Indomitable as the last human vessel elmed to safety. All ships accounted for, sir, his tactical officer reported. 0 casualties. Good. Kevin pulled up the star charts, showing humanity's new territories, vast stretches of unclaimed space beyond council borders, rich with resources and possibility. Set course for New Olympus. It's time to build something better. As the Indomitable jumped, leaving council space behind forever, Mia's shuttle rendezvoused with the fleet. She settled into her seat, exhausted but satisfied. Across the galaxy, the message spread like wildfire. Humanity had walked away, and in their wake, the old order began to crumble. The age of the Galactic Council was ending. The age of humanity had just begun, and